that's why you can't get it. Yeah, it won't be on my plane.
That actually said it was starting.
Really?
Defending champion Matt Weggen, Baton Rouge.
Good afternoon from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the 66th day of the 2012 USBC Open Championships. Today's squad consists of 45 teams. Today we are honored to have three champions going down this squad, and we recognize their achievement by placing an eagle next to their name. On lane 25, these gentlemen are members of the 1992 team champions from Reading, Pennsylvania, Kevin Adam. From Reading, Pennsylvania, Steve Geringer. From Reading, Pennsylvania, Dean Wolf. We also have a celebrity bowling on this squad. On lane 3, this gentleman rolled 300 game in the 2010 doubles event from Villa Park, Illinois, Dan Matasek. Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the center aisle. Last year in Reno, Nevada, this gentleman became the only bowler in 109 years of Open Championships competition to record back-to-back 800 series. He averaged a blistering 272 during doubles and singles on the way to sets of 806 and 826 to earn his spot in the record books, but he wasn't done there. The talented right-hander outscored more than 64,000 bowlers and went on to claim the 2011 regular singles and regular all-event crowns. Tomorrow at 11:40 a.m., he will look to become the first individual bowler in history to defend the title at the Open Championships. He is being escorted by the lovely Dana Pauline. Please join us as we welcome him to Baton Rouge, Louisiana, from Muscatine, Iowa, 2011 regular singles and regular all events champion, Matt Weggen. Now I'm going to turn it over to USBC Open Championships Tournament Manager, Dwayne Hayden.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. A new tradition starts today at the Open Championships as we present the tournament hardware from last year's magnificent accomplishments to Mr. Weggen. It is only fitting that Matt be the one to start this tradition, as he himself turned in a historic performance bowling back-to-back 800s en route to the Open Championships 2011 singles and all events titles. On behalf of the USBC, it is a great honor for me to present you with your commemorative watch. Actually, watches in your case. And of course, the ever-coveted eagle. Congratulations, sir. Truly a magnificent performance. Good luck at defending your titles.
Are we in your way when we do that? I'm sorry.
Congratulations once again.
So you don't want me to turn around and like wave and say,
No,
hi,
we
Mom.
we can't stand up. You know what? Look at this.
You were going to put that on. Get. I only got a few pictures
That's
because
okay.
I was hitting the thing and it wouldn't take it.
That's okay. I got a whole bunch down there, so.
Yeah, is that mic on? Like they can hear us?
Ladies and gentlemen, would you please stand to honor America, playing of our national anthem.
right, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is USBC Open Championships Media Relations Manager Matt Cannizzaro and Emil Williams Jr. at the 2012 USBC Open Championships. We're here to check out defending regular all events and singles champ Matt Weggen. And today we're going to be watching his team event. So just a few minutes ago you saw him march down center aisle in our ceremonial March of Champions, where he received his Eagle and championship watches, commemorating his 2 titles last year at the National Bowling Stadium in Reno, Nevada. We'll have all the details on that and much more. We're here with you behind lanes 25 and 26 at the Baton Rouge River Center for the next 3 hours. So enjoy, sit back, enjoy some good bowling. And now let's check in with Emil Williams Jr. coming in early today. Emil, what's up?
Always here to check out our first champion that is in the building, Mr. Matt Weggen. Had a chance to see something different, something new as well. Presented some watches in the Eagles at center aisle. Very cool to see that live and in person. Very cool for Matt as well. Take a look at the who we're watching this afternoon. Of course, the star celebrity now, Matt Weggen. But the other 4 on his team, let's take you through that. Leading off, already put a strike on the board, is Josh Cantrill. Josh from Rock Island, Illinois. Joe Roseman from Davenport. Roseman, remember him from my youth days. He was just exiting the youth ranks, and he was an absolute star in the state of Iowa. Scott Carpenter in the 3-hole, and Chuck Shewitt and Matt Weggen, the anchor bowler for Trophy King Pro Shop from Bettendorf, Iowa. Lane 25, the team from Reading, Pennsylvania, Victor's Cafe. Jock Jacobson leading things off. Jock from Reading, Kevin Adam in the 2-hole, also from Reading, and Ryan May from Sinking Spring, Pennsylvania. Ryan, the son of Frankie May. Frankie runs our visionary booth here at the Open Championships. Ryan also shot .298 last year in Reno at the National Bowling Stadium. Dean Wolf in the 4-hole, also from Reading, and Steve Garinger from Reading, Pennsylvania. Trophy King Pro Shop through 1 frame. A couple of strikes, actually 3 strikes to spare. And Matt Weggen his first frame back. Split leaves it open. He takes the count.
Well, I'm probably going to guess at this point in time, Matt Weggen being a first-time champion here at the Open Championships, all eyes are on him. I would guess there's probably some butterflies and some nerves. A very big celebration for him as this squad began. He chose not to say any words. I think he's a humble, quiet guy. And I don't know, what happened to him last year is just really an amazing accomplishment. I don't know how I would personally handle that, but I imagine they're shaking off the nerves coming in, trying to repeat a performance like that. It's awfully difficult, and probably pretty emotionally taxing as well. And last year he got to endure the wait to find out if he would indeed take home an eagle. And in his case, it ended up being 2. And then, of course, all of a sudden now you're the defending champ. And while people might not have known your name before, there's 60,000+ bowlers gunning for you heading into 2012. So we ended last year early in July, and I imagine right at that point, if I was him at least, the thoughts of 2012 would have already been in my head. And how was I going to handle that, all the hoopla? And how do I get ready? How do I one-up a performance like that?
Well, of course, that's what we're here to see, at least here to see the start of a possible repeat at all events, of course, as singles. Doubles and singles will be bowled tomorrow morning at 11:40. But there's a lot that goes with that, of course. A lot of attention I'm sure he's received since then. Already a good bowler, already well known in the state of Iowa, and now he is known across the world. So have a chance to view and receiving his award and Eagle and watches, which is fantastic, of course. And as you said, a humble guy, very humble. But anybody would in that situation, tough to handle all that. But he's very appreciative, very thankful for what he did, and very grateful as well.
So a lot of people are probably out there wondering, well, if he's the defending singles champ, and all events, of course, and all of his fame and glory came in doubles and singles last year, why in the world are we watching his team event? Well, the answer to that is simple. Our associate, Lucas Wiseman, will be on the road this week. He is headed to the intercollegiate singles and intercollegiate team championships, and he will be live streaming from those events beginning tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern. So those events already on the schedule, and of course very high-profile events as well. So we combined and made the best of both worlds, and we're checking out Matt Weggen as he starts his journey to becoming the first bowler to win back-to-back individual titles here at the Open Championship. So we'll, of course, bring you the news of his doubles and singles on bowl.com as it unfolds tomorrow afternoon.
And of course, the fastest way to check us out, should Matt Weggen or anybody else for that matter take care of business and put up some great numbers here at the tournament. Follow us on Twitter, handle @USBC. We'll have all the news and notes for you.
All right, so Matt Weggen's got his first mark in the books here in 2012. As he gets settled in, we'll get settled in as well. And, while we have a chance, let's talk about Matt Weggen a little bit. I was not in the building the day that he made history and became the first bowler at the Open Championships with back-to-back 800s. I was on my way to Syracuse for the USBC Women's Championships, and I got off an airplane in Chicago, one of my 2 transfers that day, and received voicemail and text messages that this indeed had happened. And since it was not April 1st, and the jokester that Emil is, it certainly was not an April Fool's joke by any means to his history on the tournament lanes. Emil, can you talk a little bit about that day and kind of how things unfolded?
Well, Matt, I believe, bowled at 9:20 last year. Of course, I was there covering the early shift. Nothing out of the ordinary up until you start to see the stringer strikes on the board and on the lane viewer. Go out and check things out. And in fact, it was pretty phenomenal just in doubles. And he had to pretty much strike out really like 260 to even shoot 800. He was able to do that. So congratulate him, talk to him briefly, told him I'll be back. But little did I know, not only would I be back to talk about 1-800, but I'll be back to talk about 2. And see, continue the momentum, continue the flurry, and the strikes just kept coming. Looked up and he's got 826. I said, wow. Before that, this guy's going to shoot. He's going to go back-to-back 800s. And I quickly checked the records, make sure I wasn't missing anything, and got on the horn. Of course, she didn't answer, of course, but history was made, left a voicemail. Of course, I had contacted Mr. Treadwell before that, let him know what was happening and what seemed to be more to come at that point. So he was aware. And there you have it. History was made, strikes galore, and Matt was Matt. He was very appreciative at that particular moment. Of course, his scores did end up holding, as he is a 2-time champion now at this event. But he was in a little bit of shock as well.
As he delivers his first strike of the 2012 event, so Matt Weggen off and running, and that portion of the record books you mentioned, the 2 800s, a very short list. Of course, John Socha from Oak Creek, Wisconsin, the first bowler at the Open Championships with 2 800s in a career. And then Matt McNeil, the 2010 All Events champ, added his name to that list on our live stream last year when he rolled a 300 game, an 822 series in doubles to go along with 806 in singles on the way to his record-setting All Events title. So again, very short list. And 2 of the 3 named Matt, so I'm liking my chances for that category. Of course, I'd like to get the first one out of the way and then worry about 2. But looking at Matt Weggen's career prior to last year, just an average guy at the Open Championships, a couple 1900s, and he actually, in fact, struggled a bunch in Reno. He had been there in 2004, shot 1781, and then 2007 shot 1655. And then he came back strong in 2010 with a 1940 performance. Seemed to get a little bit more comfortable there. And then, of course, his breakout in 2011. And we've talked to Matt a bunch this year and talked on a live stream about him quite a bit. And he has his own term here at the Open Championships now, because last year he threw the ball well, he felt, in team event, and struggled to a 636 series, just didn't get the carry, left a lot of corner pins in those 3 games, and felt like his score did not reflect how well he bowled, actually. And then, of course, he came and blasted him in doubles and singles. So for those folks, and we've seen it before, who come out and maybe struggle a little bit in the team event, or do not turn in the performance they hope for, and then bowl fantastic in doubles and singles, we call that the Weggen. They Weggened it. We saw Ryan Whitney, our all events leader, earlier this year, shoot 760 and 770 in doubles and singles, so not quite to that extreme. But he did not have an awesome team event either. And, he's currently leading with 2170. So Matt Weggen checked in the other day by email and was very impressed with that term. Glad that he is now a part of bowling history in many ways. I thought it was cool that we use that occasionally. And then we decided, of course, that that term could extend well beyond the Open Championships to any tournament where the first day doesn't seem to go so well, and then day 2 is just an amazing record-setting performance. So that's that.
Weggen
it. Now, we did not have a chance to talk to these two teams prior to their start today. You see what kind of strategy. Okay, Emil's shaking his head that I did not have a chance to talk to them, but he snuck away during the setup process here and talked to them about what the plan was. So, Emil, what's going on out there?
Well, Matt talked to me a little bit and said, you know, didn't want to sound like a broken record, of course, but they did have plans to, you know, start out in practice about 5, 6, and 7. They told me they bowled on the showcase lanes upstairs this morning, had a practice session there. Kind of liked what they saw. They kind of moved in a little bit earlier upstairs, and they said they didn't think they would have to do that here in the main venue. So we'll kind of watch for that and see it. Of course, one lefty, 9 righties, that one lefty is Joe Roseman right now, and he's got a 4-bagger. Joe Roseman in the 2-hole for Trophy King Pro Shop on lane 26. But he thought they eventually get into about 7, 8, 9 or so. But he did tell me they had a couple of guys who have a few more revs than others on the team, so they may get left a little bit earlier than others. But so far, most seem to be hitting the pocket, getting to the correct area that they'd like to get to, of course. And 4, they're looking pretty good. So they didn't want to, had no plans to start no further right than 5, of course. Personally, he said that he would start out, as far as equipment is concerned, with the Nano. He said about 4,000 sand there, and then eventually head into this Anarchy collection. He's got 2 of those, one pin up and one pin down. The pin up Anarchy is the legendary ball. That is the Weggen ball, if you will. He said definitely be going to that, and if he has to perhaps switch again, it will be to his Anarchy that is pinned back. He's got an Anarchy in his hand right now.
Go get him a drink. I'm gonna get him.
10 pin on lane 25.
Weggen appears to have a little bit of a unique style. Again, the first opportunity I had to see him bowl was on video last year of his 800s in Reno. And I don't know, does he look as comfortable as he did, or does he look a little tentative at this point? What's your take, having watched him bowl at his best and now here again in 2012?
I think he looks the same right now. I mean, it's hard to tell. You know, I don't see him, you know, dribbling or shaking or anything like that, but he looks comfortable to me because that's how he looked when I saw him. He was the first to tell me, hey, you know, when we were talking, obviously, he said, obviously I have a unique style. And so, I mean, that's evident, but of course, you know, we've learned a long time ago, never judge a book by its cover, especially in this sport. A lot of unconventional, unorthodox individuals that get the job done on the lane. So, and Matt Weggen, if somebody out there who they say he doesn't look like much, well, he Weggen. Got 2 Eagles here at the Open Championships. So, give me more proof to the point of that it doesn't matter what you look like. You can do it the same and repeat it. Hit what you're looking at. be
Well,
good.
I did just realize, looking in the chat room and just looking around the banners hanging above the lanes here at the Open Championships, that in just a couple of years, I've fallen now to the third coolest and most popular mat here at the Open Championships now. Matt McNeil, of course, took home the all-events title in 2010 with a record score of 23-26, and nearly won again last year in 2011. Shot 22-41, finished third. Outdone by Matt Weggen, of course, who now is in the history books. So I'm okay with my place there. I mean, I certainly have not earned the accolades that they have, so I'm okay with being number 3. And I'll do my best, of course, to stay there or improve my standings on the coolest mats at the Open Championships. But while we have that chance, speaking of Matt McNeil, great shot there by the left-hander. I'm going to take notes while I'm talking as well. But going back to 2009, just a history lesson for those of you joining us today. Ron Vokes came out. He bowled on April 25th, 2009. Shot 857 in singles, which at the time was the second highest series in tournament history. And of course went on to shoot 23-21 all events. At the time, a record. And 1 year later, on April 25th, 2010, Matt McNeil broke that all events record when he shot 23-26 and took the lead in Reno. And while Matt Weggen did not bowl on April 25th last year, he did, however, bowl on the exact same day that Matt McNeil bowled. So right after Weggen got done with his team event, quietly shot 636, left the building, went back to his hotel, went to dinner. We still did not know who he was. We set up the live stream cameras and live stream Matt McNeil, of course, making history also. And then the very next morning, it was the Matt Weggen show. So what all that means, I have no idea. But I think that next year, being that my name is Matt, I'm going to bowl on April 25th, and hopefully that will increase my chances. Although I do believe that getting some talent and some practice also might increase my chances here at the Open Championship, so we'll see. Do I test fate, or do I go with the skill? I do not know.
It's a tough choice you have there. But if you can somehow combine the two, I mean, I think that would be the ultimate. That might be asking for too much.
So, big question now that we've talked about Matt McNeil. When is he coming back to the Open Championships? He did find a new team this year. He's bowling with the famed Linz Lakers. And he will be here at the end of April. I believe the 28th, but we'll double check on that. We'll let everybody know.
Is a scheduled live stream. Although I'll figure that out in just a sec. We've got a busy schedule, especially the end of April and into May. May is jam-packed, as it should be. It's just like normal. A lot of great bowlers in May. But I believe Mr. McNeil's, as we'll have to call his former team, former group, bowled last night, bowled team last night, played in Cedarville.
Well, that timing definitely would make sense. With Weggen in town today. Matt McNeil, April 27th at 8:30 p.m. Central. and then 11:30 p.m. Central for doubles and singles the following night. And then, of course, we'll be live streaming on the 28th at 8:30. April Ellis, Billy Murphy, Brian Wallachek. Perhaps if we can catch a little bit of the doubles and singles, depending on where everybody's situated in this 48-lane venue, perhaps there's an opportunity for some bonus coverage, so stay tuned on that. It's actually our very next live stream on the schedule for us at the Open Championships. Let's take a look at what's coming up overall. A lot of exciting action from around the bowling world. Lucas Wiseman going on a world tour. He'll be at the Intercollegiate Singles and Team Championships for the rest of this week. And then headed to the USBC Queens in Euless, Texas. And coverage of that will start on the 22nd. And he'll be out there 22nd, 23rd, 24th, I believe it's the TV show. So you catch that on ESPN. How about that? Pete Treadwell spreading the news this week. A 3-year contract extension with ESPN through 2014. So this year's Queens telecast will be April 24th at 7 p.m. Eastern on ESPN2 in HD.
It's a big deal right there.
That is big news. And then next year headed to Sunset Station in Las Vegas. So a lot of big time TV excitement there. Probably not as exciting, of course, as what we do here on YouTube. Then the last week of April, USBC Convention and Annual Meeting, the 26th. USBC Hall of Fame inductions, the night of the 26th. And some more convention action on the 27th. And then, of course, like we mentioned, right back here, April 28th. So if you're interested in the live streaming schedule, check out the main page of bowl.com. Down on the right side, you'll see all of those events and much more. And if you missed part or all of today's live stream broadcast, you can revisit it on youtube.com/bowltv. That and much more. All of our events archived there.
Frame here at the Open Championships. Watching Matt Weggen start. Looks to defend his regular all events and singles titles. Wants to double the singles bowl tomorrow. He'll get the start, get the jump on all events right now.
After this shot from Weggen, we'll take a look up at the scoreboard. Bowler of note, Joe Roseman, the left-hander, with the front 6 at this point. So maybe we'll see some live stream excitement. We almost had one the other day. Nick Wissinger, S&B Pro Shop, had the front 9. Ended with 279. As you see, Weggen missed a little bit to the right there. So still searching for his first double of the day. Appreciate everybody joining us in the chat room today. Shout out to Gail Myers Jr. checking in. Gail, the weather here is absolutely terrible, actually. It's pretty awful outside, so the Baton Rouge River Center is the place to be if you're local. Another open frame for Matt Weggen. So the stand's filled with bowlers and bowling fans trying to stay in and out of the rain. So we do appreciate them. It is not pretty. Here's a look at Roseman up on the right lane, looking to make it 7 in a row. And he goes high. Leaves at 2-4. Let's take a look up at the scoreboard. So, this left-hander taking a little different approach than we've seen the last couple. He has chosen to go with something dull. He kind of pipe it a little bit inside of 5, 10 at the arrows. Of course, that little bit of surface tames down the ball once it hits that friction on the back end, which is good, especially early. That's what you want to do. Until the pattern blends a little bit. Something shiny at that point, as we saw in recent broadcasts. It's just too jumpy. You get it in the middle of the lane. Yeah, we saw one left-hander miss the first 13 frames. The ball was just overhooking either Brooklyn or through the face. I think a little surface, perhaps, at that point might have helped calm that reaction down. And then at the other extreme, we saw Mike Lickstein go with 360 grit and make his way to a pretty solid team event as well. So different ways to attack the pattern, of course. But I do think that going with a little bit of surface to try to calm it down. 39-foot pattern this year, and not as much hold in the middle as we saw last year. So you have to get something that's going to be kind of tame early on, at least until you get some blend and some carry down. Emil, what do you think?
Well, I think you hit the nail right on the head, Matt. We've watched a couple of team events now. For the most part, everybody has tried to attack them just about the same, of course, and that's been the rule of thumb. How to break them down, where to break them down during practice. You know, now up to that each particular team as to, you know, when they decide to jump in. And of course, they base that on what they see on the lanes. So as we see Chuck Schutte up on lane 26 for Trophy King Pro Shop. Chuck has gone it fairly straight thus far. Pretty good reaction. Started with a triple, 3 spares, and now puts another strike on the board in the 7th frame. But as far as lefties go, I think it's safe to say that this is the first lefty that we've seen to get off to such a great start right off the back in the first game, and that is Joe Roseman here. But
well, I think he definitely made a good choice going with the dull ball to start. And had he chosen to go shiny, like we saw many of our left-handers do so far, I would think he'd want to be further out. Once again, the pattern, 39 feet. And back ends look to be pretty strong, especially early.
I get an idea about Matt, as you talked about earlier. If he looks to be comfortable throwing it the same as when I saw him last year, I'll tell you what, he had a lot of strikes that looked just like his last one right there on the right lane. Except for he probably was covering less boards. I think his angle to the pocket was just a tad bit straighter as opposed to last year. And it makes sense a little bit. This year the pattern's a little shorter. So he's using the back end at this particular moment to his favor. Not a high rev player, of course, but he can still strike with the best of them. That's what he did. Matt also told me that the partnership, if you will, of course, Matt's team from Iowa, their companion team from Reading, Pennsylvania, this is actually the 3rd year that they have bowled together. Matt's team captain knows several people on this squad, so a couple of years back they decided to bowl together, as they used to just bowl on the same squad. But they decided to make themselves a group of 10 and help themselves out on the lanes. And they've bowled well ever since. He said since their merge, neither team has shot less than 3,000. So seems to be a good good pairing thus far. Can't argue with anything plus.
Well, clearly a pretty talented group with 4 Eagles up on the scoreboard right now. Of course, Weggen with the 2 titles. So anytime you see an orange eagle up on the scoreboard, heads are going to turn for sure. That, of course, means that you have won a title here at the Open Championships. Now, immediately, that makes you a target here. And, of course, everybody checking in to see what you're doing right, what it takes to succeed on the tournament lanes. So just over 300 people joining us in the live stream right now, so we appreciate that. Once again, for those of you coming in a little bit late, this is Matt Cannizzaro and Emil Williams Jr. live from the 2012 USBC Open Championships. We are behind lanes 25 and 26 at the Baton Rouge River Center. 48 lanes down here on the main convention floor. And of course, the world's largest mobile scoreboard. Quite the venue we have set up here in Baton Rouge. If you haven't been here, we look forward to having you out. A couple of my teammates checking in the chat room today as well. Want to check out the action and get an idea of what we need to do to find some success here.
Going back to Victor's Cafe real quickly. Kevin Adam, Dean Wolf, Steve Geringer, members of the 1992 regular team champions. So a lot of experience on that squad as well, a lot of talent. Hope to have Frankie May on. Frankie out watching his son Ryan. Ryan just spared. 6'10" there. Ryan shot 298. Last year at the National Bowling Stadium.
And Ryan's father, Frankie May, sitting in the stands right now taking some notes.
Got the whole crew out. The visionary booth, we've seen him once or twice, but Frankie told me he had the entire day off today, so he's not working, and the rest of the crew will have to take care of him. He's come to watch his son bowl.
He is the boss, so he gets to do that. My boss is taking tomorrow off. Emil Williams, so I'll be here to handle the Matt Weggen show. He bowls at 11:40.
Chuck Schutte up. Schutte with the 3-6-10 here. Got that one just a little left of target. Lay down points. What looks to be a critical theory going down the lane. First to spare. Schutte is clean. A-frames. Saw the first open for Roseman earlier. That shot looked to be a little firm and left.
Somebody did just ask in the chat room, when do they get to see us on the live stream?
I'm hoping for never.
Yeah, I'm going to go with never. Unless it's an on-camera interview of some sort. Tough shot there for Weggen. Leaves the 4-6-7. So yeah, as long as we want to keep our viewership, I know we don't want to subject anybody to, at least me personally, I don't know, I might break out the live stream cameras in July when Emil takes his run at it, especially as some folks have mentioned after his clutch performance in league last week. So he's just starting to find his stride, and he'll be out here the first week of July. So perhaps we'll put that one out for a poll. Who wants to see Emil Williams Jr. on the live stream?
Well, since you tell me I'm the boss all the time, I will veto that. If anybody's going to be live streaming, it's going to be you. Especially with the potential action-packed group. A lot of talent in Canizaro's camp. Sounds like a good name for a show. Jacobson now with a split on the left lane. Should be a good poll, though. I already imagined the results. Still think, though, if we both were part of the poll, I think you'd win. Both groups now kind of trying to feel some bad breaks here. Late in the stretch. Preacher's Cafe kind of rolling along, and a couple open to the middle. Jacobson with the split there in the 9th. Cantrell at the 310 split. The big split took one off in the 9th as well. He's got 161 in the 9th. Rosen with the spare.
Well, certainly a bunch of strikes up on the scoreboard, and as we've learned so far, I think the key, or a key to success in the team event this year is getting off to a strong start. We've seen a whole bunch of teams finish strong and even kind of climb a bunch in game number 2, but it's game 1 that it seems to be the deciding factor.
Game 1 can be a mystery. Can be a mystery. Get out to a good start and then start to really get affected by some transition. There's Ryan May up on the left lane. It's the trip 4. But with a low first game, somewhere between 950 and 1,000. 10-10, 10-20 is that. We've seen a lot of 980s. In the first game or so, and then a lot of 1130s, 1140s, 1150s in the second game.
Of course, our most consistent team this year, also our top team, Nicholas J's Pro Shop. 3 games over 1,100, and they are at the top of the standings with 34.01, so that is a sizable number at this year's Open Championships. We did have our first other 3,300 just the other night. Team USA member Shannon O'Keefe shot 300 and 755 to lead her team into second place with a 33.19 total. And just one day after SMB Pro Shop took the lead in team all events with 99.54, O'Keefe's team, as well as Dan Bach and Mr. Nelson from Minnesota, made a run. So we didn't see much in the team all events category. Then all of a sudden, we had 2 teams battling for the lead after the bar was raised pretty good. So is that a preview of what's to come? May, an action-packed month here. A lot of great bowlers coming through. Who knows? Hard to predict.
Always tough to predict what's going to happen, but saw some great bowling from those 2 teams, as you mentioned. They were really going back and forth, had the battle going, starting with the team event. They bowled right next to each other, and we're looking pretty good through 2. If I'm not mistaken, I believe the locker guy had about 21-15 or so, 20 after 2, and Cambridge won it. Shannon O'Keefe. And job of 2082. Big last game for Cambridge 1. 12:37 led them to 33:19.
12:37, of course, the highest game of this year's tournament. We'll have to add that to our list of 1200s. It's right up there. It's a short list. Last year, of course, we saw the highest game in tournament history on the way to the team title, 1281. And then the second highest game, 1278.
Tough square to miss there. Back-to-back over from the 9th and 10th for Andrew, leaving with 170. We take a look at the scoreboard. Brought to you by Matthew Canizaro.
All right, back to the action. We'll check out the left-hander, the lone lefty. He started strong with 6 in a row, but has not struck since. Last time on the left lane, lefty 379, this time to 3-7. So not sure if it's the pattern breaking down for him, and the ball just not reacting on the back end. Great spare there. Of course, that surface that he used earlier helped him calm down the back ends when they were fresh. So I imagine he's thinking about a move right now. Strike here puts him in the 230s. But the ball just not finishing, whether it's the lane changing or him just getting excited here in game 1. It leads 3-7 again. Ball just not making a move on the back end. He's throwing it right through the break point, so he's going to have to either slow down or make a ball change. We'll see what happens in game 2. Kevin Adam getting up on the right lane. Looking to make it 3 in a row. Jacobson finishes with 203. Shot there for Adam. Carpenter up on the left lane. Great shot out of him there. Has just 1 strike this game. That came in the 4th frame. So he is back on board there. Scratching his head a little bit.
Don't worry about it. Once you come out, don't worry about it.
Double for Scott Carpenter there. That Anthem struggling here in the first game. Good double. Not going to like the score, of course, but nonetheless, double there. Get some confidence back. Get the right ball in your hand and kind of go from there. 200 so far for Victor's Cafe, 203 for Jacobson, 235 for Kevin Adam. $155 for Scott Carpenter. already with 1 strike here in the 10th. Here is Shoot on the left lane, and he's a 10 pin. See another great team performance here. We hope so. We'll be here to bring it to you live. Late trip on the 7th for Ryan May. Spare from Shoot. Back to the battle, the Locker guy, Cambridge 1, Locker guy 1, going at it. Locker guy, in fact, seem to be well on their way. Dan Bottoms won a title here. Chad Nelson ended up with 11:47. Their last game for 32:47. Battle continued. Great team all events. Locker guy 1 finished with 2 individuals that cracked the top 10 in regular all events. Chad should be David Linger, 2070, and Chad Nelson at 2066. Second, just short, taking the lead at team all events with 99.25, of course, the leader. And at 99.54, that is S&B Pro Shop 1. Saw them a few days ago as well. Cambridge 1 settled into third with 98.17. So some very good bowling here in the last week at the Open Championships. As we see a ball change from Matt Weggen. 210 for Chuck Shoot. With a solid game. Triple. Spare, 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 strike. Spare, spare, 9 spare. Put it up in the 10th. 203 for Ryan May from Victor's Cafe. Ball's got to get there for the 10 pin. It does. While Matt looks comfortable to me, of course, I'm not there. I'm not on lane 25 bowling with him. But you'd have to imagine, at least for the first 5 frames, so probably was still coming down, kind of shake the nerves off a little bit. Most bowlers still do kind of get that butterfly feeling when they walk down center aisle to begin with, let alone standing in front of everyone receiving first place watches and the Eagles. So a lot going on, a lot of fanfare, but that gentleman deserves everything he gets. Down at, he's in history now, and happy to see him do it. But off to a slow start, 162. Mr. Weggen.
Well, as we saw just the other day, Nick Wissinger, S&B Pro Shop, started his 2012 campaign with a 169 game and went on to shoot 3 700 series. He was actually the first bowler this year to do that. And he is now in 2nd place in regular all events with 21.52. So 169 to 21.52. He did some work and at the same time helped his team into the top spot in team all events. He is still in search of his first eagle here at the Open Championship. So my point there, of course, is that he shook that off and stepped up and got things done. So Weggen off to a similar start, but of course we know he knows how to get it done as well. Let's take a quick look up at the scoreboard before things disappear on us. Weggen, of course, has already proven himself not once, but twice here at the Open Championship, so I'm not at all worried about his start here. And there's the final numbers there, 10:59 for Victor's Cafe and 9:27 for Trophy King Pro Shop. Game 2 getting started.
Shot from Cantrell. Good to see him get started early. Into the first game with back-to-back opens there in the 9th and 10th. So see him get on track early. Good for Trophy King Pro Shot. Here's John Jacobson. Wrapped 10 there. Good shot.
For what it's worth at this point, last year, Matt Weggen, team event, 224, 210, 202 for 636. So I would personally be thrilled with 636 in any event, in all 3 events even. And then of course he came back the next day in doubles, 269, 258, 279, and singles, 279, 290, 257. So solid year. 636 start, 2 eagles. I don't see him sweating from here.
I think he'll be just fine. Of course, if anything, might be about ball changes. What equipment to use at this point for him? Well, they went to Old Trusty. Didn't get the reaction that he was looking for. Another good shot from Scott Carpenter, who struggled the first game as well.
Going to Old Faithful seems to be a tradition now here at the Open Championships. Matt McNeil, of course, you can't talk about an all-event title without mentioning the record holder, Mr. McNeil drilled the ball specifically for the 2010 Open Championships and cruised to the title with a record score, 23-26. Probably took the ball home, put it in a glass case where it was on display, not to be used again until he busted it out of there and brought it to the 2011 Open Championships and nearly did it again. So that ball has at most 18 games on it. He did throw it most of both years. He did make a late switch to the Eagle last year, but not quite in time. Back-to-back years, 23, 26, and 22-41. So I'm going to have a feeling we're going to see that ball again this year in 2012. And just like that, Weggen, of course, going to Old Faithful and making a change here in game 2. And all 5 guys strikes on the board.
Great shot by Weggen, although he didn't tell me what ball that was. He probably didn't plan to use it, but he's here now. Oh, it's kind of got the color scheme of a 715C. I'm just speculating though. It is not official. I'm telling you what it looks like. What a great start, but from Trophy King Pro Shop.
9:27 in game 1. They dug a little bit of a hole, and not a bad score. But certainly with a lot of work to do the rest of the way. Victor's Cafe, however, a solid 10:59 start. Now they can take advantage of the lanes as they open up. They have a shot at a pretty solid number here. They, of course, know how to get it done as past team champions here at the Open Championships back in 1992. Corpus Christi, I believe, is the stats.
We had 3 ball changes. If I saw correctly, Scott Carpenter was throwing something different. Oh. Once the conversion there, should have been a spare. Dean Wolf instead he goes 6'3". Carpenter change balls, look like shoot change balls as well. Also Matt Weggen. Kind of windy here in the booth today. Papers flying around everywhere. A little breezy, if you will.
Earlier today, we saw Matt Weggen get a bit of the VIP treatment as he was marched out as the two-time defending champ. You don't have to be a winner here to be a VIP. We also have a special VIP program. I'll let Emil tell you a little bit about that.
Well, to become a VIP member, first of all, you have to do is head to bowl.com/VIP. VIP is a per-person package, and for $199.95, what that'll get you is a lesson, 1-hour practice session and coaching lesson with USBC Silver Level Certified Coach Bill Hall. You will also receive a complimentary locker, a VIP locker, of course. You can store your equipment at any given point. You can go in and out as much as you like. We give you the key. You can have at it as far as equipment is concerned. Also, we'll set you up, of course. You can relax in the VIP lounge, which conveniently is located right next to our office. And so, not only can you practice the showcase lanes, get a coaching lesson with Bill Hall, have a free locker service. You can say hello to us in the VIP lounge while enjoying some snacks and beverages, water, pop, that kind of deal. None of those other beverages. We also receive some discounts across the venue. One being at the USBC Sports Store. You get 25% off one item of your choice. We also receive discounts at Bowling Ball Express. Shipping service here at the USBC Open Championships. 25% off, $25 off. Both ways. So if you'd like to ship from home, $25 off of that. If you'd like to ship your equipment back home, we'll give you $25 off as well. You'll also get a VIP polo shirt with your name embroidered on the back, as well as the VIP logo. You also get a VIP nameplate, VIP badge as well. You also get a tour of the venue by one of our managers on duty. So lots to be had. Also, you'll receive, or if you like, express check-in. If you have a number of teams, or if you just have one team, you can check your team in the expressway. We'll take care of that for you. You do not have to wait in any lines. You don't have to wait in a line at the scale room either. You head to the front scale line, your equipment weighed and checked immediately, and we'll even take it out to the lane for you. I mean, you can't beat that. Again, all for $199.95. Again, I just went over a lot. If that sounds like something that is intriguing to you, be sure to log on to bowl.com/VIP. Get all of the answers. Call to schedule, reserve your VIP package. VIP lounge also available to you at all times. Come in, sit down, leave. Have your lesson, come back, chill out. Also, computer set up as well. You'd like to print a boarding pass, for example, you can do that. Good shot for Weggen there. Weggen with the double.
Question in the chat room, do you have any tips for the average bowler? First timer to the Open. Looking to have some fun and see where he stacks up. Well, there are some basics, of course, you want to practice. Get out there, throw some games, and do so on a more challenging lane condition if you can find one in the area. A lot of places around the country are able to lay down the Open Championships pattern as closely as they can get. So call around and see if that's available in your area. Otherwise, try to find yourself a sport bowling lane condition, maybe one of the animal patterns in a PBA Experience League. See if your bowling center would be willing to put those out there for you to practice. Of course, that will help you with making better shots. You won't have the miss room that you'd have on a typical half shot, either to the outside, it will hook back, or to hold in the middle. It will definitely show if you're making good shots or not. So that is number one. Number two, make your spares. And that's true on any condition. But get yourself an appropriate spare shooting ball, whether it's plastic or something else that you're comfortable with. And right there, if you can be accurate and make your spares at the Open Championships, you will find success. It's that easy, folks. Practice and hard work will get it done. And if you're curious, maybe not about what the winning scores are or the leading scores, you can check out the Open Championships page on bowl.com and find out what the loaded cash scores are right now. So maybe set the bar, the sights a little bit lower, and just try to get a check at your first Open Championship. Check out those numbers and all kinds of other scores, leaderboards, year-long brackets, you name it, from the Open Championships this year. Once again, go to the Open Championships page and click on the Scores box or Scores tab in the Flash module up top, and you'll see all of that information and much more. So 2 easy keys to success. Work hard, practice, make your spares. And that's that. Start with the basics.
Pretty much sums it up right there, man.
I do believe everybody will agree that once you get those things down, then you can start investigating some different equipment, hand positions, all the more intricate tricks. Depending on what squad you bowl on, who's on the pair with you, working together, all those good things that come later. But as you mentioned there in that question, the most important thing, have fun. Enjoy the Open Championships experience. As you walk down center aisle, look up, take it all in. The high ceilings, the bright lights. And remember, no matter what happens on the scoreboard, you get to do it again next year. You always get another chance. And that's actually a good segue. The opportunity to practice on the very same lane condition. Same oil, same surface, same lane machine, you name it. If you do come to town and you do not have the opportunity to practice on the pattern, you can do so in the very building where you'll be competing at the Open Championships. Just go upstairs on the second level, right next to the information booth. You will see 4 showcase lanes. Those lanes equipped with all of the same things you will experience down on the main level. Give you an opportunity to get used to the high ceilings and the approaches, the humidity, and of course the lane conditions. So you have the chance to test out some different equipment if you'd like, do some different things. And you and your teammates can take advantage of the showcase lanes for a 1-hour session. It's you and up to 9 other people. And during our peak hours, that will be $125 for the hour. And off-peak hours, it's just 90 bucks. So divide that by 10, 9 bucks a guy. And if you're feeling adventurous and you'd like some help, some tips, Bill Hall, USBC Silver Coach available to help you out for $200. So for $20 a guy, you get some tips from the expert. You can find information about that on the Open Championships page on bowl.com or on site at the information counter. So don't miss out. Make your appointments early, as those times do fill up. And those in the chat room, Gail Myers Jr., a veteran at this event, second on the all-time average list. Has a couple of Eagles himself, a couple 300 games, and a 299 here. Some great advice there. Make the most out of every shot. Take advantage of the moment. Enjoy the experience and being around friends and camaraderie. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. Just enjoy it all, and remember, you get to do it again in 2013.
Man, if I had a king of that right there. King of putting pressure on himself. It's hard not to sometimes, though, because you expect a lot from yourself. You don't reach those expectations sometimes. It seems like a failure. So you don't want to get to that point.
Well, if you're reading on bowl.com, you're checking things out before you come out. Of course, you're going to go to the leaderboards and you're going to start at the top, and you're going to see some scores that you may or may not be capable of, but you just never know. And then, of course, many of the stories we write are about the top players at this event, the ones who do take the lead. We'll occasionally throw in some feature stories and some different things to just talk to just a regular guy out there having a good time. Some of our 50-year guys have been here, obviously, 5 decades, and perhaps have not put up any monumental numbers, but they're here for the experience, so everybody here for a different reason. But don't be intimidated, I guess is my point there. When you come in and either at home or on site, walking by the leaderboard, it's not a secret that with 60,000 bowlers coming to town, it's going to take some pretty serious scores to win this thing. And as we saw last year with Matt Weggen, it's going to take a career day. You know, the best performance of his entire life happened at this event, and he came at the right time, and he came away with 2 Eagles, as we always talk about. We did not know him before he came here last year. He was one of our bowlers, and you know, we're glad to have him. We appreciate his dedication to this event. This is now his 11th time at the Open Championships, but a lot of faces kind of get mixed into the crowd, and he rose up on the big stage, and he got it done, and that could happen to anybody any day, and that's the cool part about bowling. It's for a lot of folks, we've seen their first ever, that's kind of redundant. We've seen their first 300 games happen on these lanes. Our very own Gary Brown from USBC Collegiate rolled the first 300 of his career at the 1996 Open Championship. So fought off those nerves and had a big day on the big stage. So you really never know. The idea is to come in and just do the absolute best you can. Don't worry about the numbers. Don't look around. Don't watch the scores. You know, don't fret the open frame or the split. I mean, you know it's going to be a challenging condition compared to what you might see in a house shot league. So just prepare the best you can and try your best. That's all that matters.
Absolutely. Jonathan Dunbar from Powhatan, Virginia, actually wrote his first career 300 game and 700 series at this event a couple weeks back. So enjoy your time here at the event.
And then, of course, Emil and I offer more advice than just how to succeed here at the Open Championships, because I actually have no idea how to succeed here at the Open Championships. I just know what everybody tells me when they take the lead and we interview them. So I'm taking their word for it. Gail Myers, I'm taking your word for it. Matt Weggen, you gave us some tips last year. It was just a simple adjustment on the approach, and you just got comfortable, and everything fell into place. There may not be any secret to it. You just the pins and everything fell into place, cooperated. And I would imagine if you asked Matt, his 636 in team event, he probably threw the ball just as well as he did in doubles or singles, and just got the carry, and the quarter pins went down, and it was his day. But at the same time, if you do want to know where to go to dinner, or catch a ball game or something like that, that stuff we can tell you all about when you come to the Open Championship. So feel free to stop by the Media Relations office, ask us whatever you'd like, or check out bowl.com. There's a Matt Cannizzaro blog for all of you to read about other stuff besides just bowling. And there'll be an Emil Williams guest blog coming up very soon. You can also check us out on Facebook, Matt Cannizzaro USBC, or USBC's own Facebook page, The Sport of Bowling. Or follow us on Twitter, as we've mentioned. All the latest news and headlines available on Twitter before you'll see it on bowl.com. So don't miss out. Right now we're through 4 frames here in game number 2. Let's take a look at the scoreboard. All right, get you back to the action. It's time to see Jacobson staring down a Greek church.
Say hello to Jake Brichter. Jake worked for the tournament a couple of years. I think he's still out in Los Angeles, living the dream. Watching some hometown bowlers. Jake from Pennsylvania. As Carpenter, first bad break of this game for him, leaves the 7-10. color scheme of a couple of bowling balls. I don't know if Chuck is affiliated with anyone, so I get people upset. He's got the color scheme of a Defiant and or a Nexus. Good shot from Dean Wolf there, and here's Weggen. Hanging up on the left lane. Again, very distinct, very unique, and very strikeable. Just like that.
Just like that, chips the 4-pin. And I did talk to Matt for a couple minutes before we got started today. And the first time I met him was just 2 days ago when he was stopped by the office. Because, of course, as we mentioned, I was out of town at the Women's Championships when he got things done in Reno last year. But he did tell me that his wife is here with him this year for the first time since 2005. She decided to come out for the festivities. And he also mentioned that he has not rolled an 800 series since leaving last year. So he's saving it all up to hopefully make a run at it. Here in 2012.
He did that on purpose.
I guess we'll find out tomorrow if he was bottling up all those 800s to save them for the Open Championships. That'd be something special.
Wouldn't it?
So if you did miss his performance last year in Reno, you can see that and much more on Bowl TV. So go to bowl.com, find the Bowl TV tab, and see all kinds of highlights from last year's event and much more. If you're in the chat room today or just checking out the live stream for the first time, remember to subscribe to our Bowl TV YouTube channel. And you'll be notified of all kinds of upcoming events and other items. Don't be left out in the cold, or in the rain in this case here in Baton Rouge today. I think if you find us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, you'll pretty much know everything that we know, possibly even before we know it. For example, let's give you an example, Emil. We're going to USBC's Twitter page right now, blowing up.
Because Twitter is hot. The minute something happens here at the tournament, and across the bowling world for that matter, USBC is on top of it. You can find it on Twitter. Fastest way to receive headlines from the sport, about the sport, and at USBC. Follow Twitter. Follow us on Twitter, I beg your pardon. At USBC, that is the handle. If you'd like to get personal, say hello to myself as well. Follow me at EWJR. Still looking for examples. Saw one earlier. As latest entrant into the 50-year club here at the Open Championships, Doug Swords. Read all about him on bowl.com, but guess where we first saw that at? On Twitter. Posted with a link to the story on bowl.com. So, again, for all of your fastest news and headlines, Twitter at USBC, at EWR, of course, Facebook. Matt has something all lined up and ready.
Well, I imagine that during the course of the rest of this week, for sure, we'll have all kinds of updates from the ISCs, Intercollegiate Singles Championships, and the Intercollegiate Team Championships from both Pete Treadwell and Lucas Wiseman. All of the great collegiate action as the season wraps up this week, followed by the USBC Queens kicking off with 10 games of qualifying over 2 days, April 20th and 21st, before the field is cut to the top 64. So if you're just a bowling fan or you're a young lady interested in checking out that event, possibly participating in it, check out bowl.com/Queens.
As Matt mentioned, Lucas will be at both I should really say all three events. The ISC, the ITC, and the Queens. He's also very good at updating what is happening when he's at an event. He is also on Twitter as well. I believe it's at Lucas Wiseman-USBC. The team championships on the horizon. I believe today is registration for the singles championships in Lincoln, Nebraska. And on Thursday, competition begins for the team championships. Tomorrow starts with singles. The format changes for those events. Both will be on national television, both finals, all four. Men's and women's singles, men's and women's team finals will be broadcast national television.
So what you're saying is there's something for everybody, whether you're competing or a bowling fan. So check it out. All the information on those events and more available on bowl.com.
This is usually a week where Matt probably doesn't get much out of me because I'm in front of my computer screen checking in on my alma mater.
Well, while we mention all those events, we can't leave out our good buddy, Aaron Smith.
Absolutely.
Who's out there at the National Bowling Stadium in Reno, Nevada right now. They're in the first week of competition at the USBC Women's Championships. They kicked off on Saturday, and they'll run for 86 consecutive days until July 8th. So more than 6,000 five-player teams headed that way. More information about that event also available at all the previously mentioned internet locations.
Shout out to Aaron Smith.
And also some big news this week. A satellite International Bowling Museum and Hall of Fame has opened on the first floor of the National Bowling Stadium. So all kinds of good bowling memorabilia that maybe did not fit into the scheme at the main Hall of Fame at the International Bowling Campus in Arlington, Texas. So now a satellite Hall of Fame with all kinds of goodies. That is free and open to the public during normal NBS hours. So when you're in Reno, either for the Women's Championship this year or next year, when both events head west for the same host city for the first time in history, check that out. Well, let's not neglect the folks that we're here to see today, of course. See a big double there out of Ryan May. Scott Carpenter up on the left lane, shooting at a 10 pin. He's having a rough one today. Picks that one up. Got off to a troublesome start today with a 155 in the opener that included a double in the 10th frame and started this game with a double, but has not struck since frame number 2. Weggen's team started the day with 927. Got out to a strong start here in game 2, but slowly getting away from things. And Victor's Cafe, their companion team, started with 1059. And a couple of them struggling here in game 2. So for those of you just checking in, Matt Canizaro and Bill Williams Jr. live in 2012. USBC Open Championships. We are behind lanes 25 and 26 in this awesome 48-lane venue. Very same location that we were in 2005. Emil was just a kid back then. I believe this is the very week that Mr. Williams was getting things done on the collegiate big stage, taking home a national championship. Lindenwood University.
How about that? Tough spare missed by Shoot, and now a little trouble brewing for Trophy King, unfortunately. Chuck now with back-to-back opens. Here's Matt Weggen. Holds the ball high and off to the side near his right shoulder, at shoulder level. Yeah, great roll on the ball though. Release is really good. Need a rotation. He buries shots. Cantrell with a strike. Cantrell has moved in a little bit. A couple of guys, in fact, in the group that have started to make the trek left. Jacobson, though, he's still around 10, 11, 12-ish in that area.
Well, as we said earlier, some players a little higher rev than others. Guys with a little less hand can stay out there in the broken down part of the lane a little bit longer. Good shot there from Roseman. Still going with the same ball, just a little straighter, tighter. Kevin Adam up on the left looking for 3 in a row. He started the day strong with the 235 game. That's 3 in a row for him, so things going well. Let's take a quick look at the scoreboard before we get another look at Matt Weggen. Here's things developing in game number 2. The number they're chasing, 3401. Nicholas J's Pro Shop from La Crosse, Wisconsin, put up a huge number early on. Now we've seen a couple teams challenge that. So just one other team over 3,300 thus far. Cambridge 1, led by Team USA member Shannon O'Keefe and her 300 game. You can read about that on bowl.com. Go to the Open Championships page.
Carpenter makes a spare. Chuck Shoot up for Trophy King. Trip 4 for Dean Wolf. strikes here for Victor's Cafe. Here's Shoot back on track with a strike in the 8th frame. Set up Matt Weggen looking for a double. Ehringer perhaps indeed the deepest. Ehringer at 5th arrow. Of course, if anybody on this pair would like to get deeper on the left lane, they got as much room as they want. Weggen is out of what could have been a tough split. Leaves a 4-pin. 10-pin converter from Ehringer. Opens for a Trophy King Pro Shop. Just about the 8 frames. Spare is good for Weggen. Again, Mr. Weggen, a very gracious individual. Very thankful for his success that he had last year. Thankful for the reception he received today. It's Cantrell, big double. Gets to 7-10 to fall. Messengers hit both. It's a big double for Roseman. 2 doubles up top as they head to the 10th. Still on deck, Carpenter, Shoot, and Weggen. Jacobson, meanwhile, up top. Victor's Cafe with the spare. Looking for 4 in a row is Kevin Adams. He'll be up in just a second on lane 26. But right now, here's Carpenter. Push ball, and it goes through the face. 4-6-7. Scotty got off to a good start with a double first. Must be early part of the second game with a couple of spares, 2 opens, spare, and then finds himself with a split. Meanwhile, a 4-bagger for Kevin Adams. Victor's Cafe. IMA also looking for a 4-bagger. Looks pretty good. Yes, sir. To the enjoyment. His father watching in the stands, Frankie May. That's just nice to see on personal level. Another good shot from Shoot, so now he has a double as he head to the 10th. 3 doubles on the board for Trophy King Pro Shop. Do some damage in the 10th frame. Gain some pins back and more. And not the break Dean Wolf is looking for. He's leaving pockets at 10 here in the 9th. Looks good. Pretty good on the left lane.
Weggen started the day with 162. So already a big improvement here.
Oh!
How about that? Almost saw the 710 picked up here on our broadcast. Very close for Mr. Wolf, but no dice. 7 doesn't want to cooperate.
Weggen is 4 out of 5 on the left lane. They'll be finishing on the right, however. 2-4-5 from Garinger. Weggen will be able to make the adjustment on the right lane. Looks like he's been off picking up his hair early. Close to some tough breaks, but I believe some makeable spares. Big 10 frame for Trophy King Pro Shop. Bettendorf, Iowa. Bettendorf in the Quad Cities area. Bettendorf, Davenport. The Iowa side. Moline, East Moline. Rock Island on the Illinois side.
Today's geography lesson brought to you by Emil Williams Jr. and Lindenwood University.
I know that area fairly well. Ball's got a hook for Josh Cantrell. And it does. Wow. Ball got on the horse. Used to compete at the Greater Iowa Scholarship Bowling Tour there. Has been around for so many years. Joe Roseman used to compete there. In fact, I'm sure Josh Cantrell was fairly young. He probably took a few turns as well. Carry for him.
Mr. Williams, what you're saying is you've covered many miles of the Midwest for bowling events and various things, but as we learned last year, you somehow missed a Chicago staple, and still to this day have never eaten a world famous Chicago Super Dog.
That is correct. Get somebody on that for me.
But you being one of the hungriest guys I've ever met, all these miles you've traveled,
and to be honest with you, there's still a couple of places in the actual city, my hometown, Chicago, that I have yet to indulge at. I think last year I said, you know what, we'll take care of that over the summer. Never got around to it. So I'll say the same thing this time around. Once I get back home, I'll make it my duty to take care of that. Here's Roseman. Looked like he might have got a little fast there. Leaves at 310. Although it may seem quite makeable for a lefty, still has a fair degree of difficulty. That's because I've seen people take the 3 off, take it straight back. And he does not do that. Mentioned 10 pin. That's a big spare in the 10th for Joe. Joe and the entire Rose family. Very famous state of Iowa, the Quad Cities area. I believe I got a chance to compete against Joe. In fact, he's so good, but I've never seen him bowl until right now. How about that? He bowled with his brother, however. Dustin.
Big ball change there. Puts away the dope ball, goes with something shiny, moves a little bit left. He's out there by himself breaking things down. It looks like it kind of worked out, so he's got a little room out there. Ryan May, however, goes high in 3-6-10. He was working on a 4-bagger.
Chance to be in the 260s. Need to make this spare here. Stay in the 40s. Interesting way Ryan May picked up that 3-6-10 actually. I don't see very many people go straight at him. His angle was straight, did not go at it kind of cross lane. Like many do. Able to convert.
Good shot there from Ryan May. Finishes with 245. After 203 in the opener, so things going well for him. We've seen his name on bowl.com in recent years. I'm sure it won't be the last. Had a pretty solid all-events effort last year in Reno. Wolf gets that one wide right. It's a 2-8-10. Not a lot of big scores on this squad at all. Only see one 1,000 game. No shot by Victor's Cafe, 10:59 in game 1. 9:27 for Weggen and Trophy King Pro Shop. Before Matt steps up for his 10th frame, let's take a look up top. See how things are unfolding here in game 2. Weggen shot 162 in the opener, so already surpassed that number. Lanes clearly changing here on 25 and 26 at the Baton Rouge River Center. A couple of tough spares there, and some moves, some confusing moves. Trying to find something. Get lined up going into game 3 for sure. Behringer opens in the 10th. 75. They're going to finish with 9:54 Weggen stepping up on the right lane, looking for a double. Started the game with 2 in a row. Has not doubled since. Struggled on the right lane. Let's see if he can get things back together. Good shot. No problem.
I believe Matt has been Muscatine Bowl of the Year a few times.
He's actually the Bowling Riders Association of America Amateur Bowler of the Year. In 2011, just named a couple days ago, actually, that news out and about, so congratulations to Matt. You win 2 Eagles. The whole world knows who you are at that point. The Bowling Riders Bowler of the Year. So he's gone big time.
Keeps adding to the legend of Weggen. Now you got to win the BWA Amateur Bowl of the Year. Man.
Spare there gives Weggen 214 to go along with 162. So got to have a big one here to be on track with last year's effort, 636 in the team event, before he blew the doors off of the National Bowling Stadium with back-to-back 800s, first bowler in history, 806, 826, on the way to the regular singles and regular all events titles. The last time a bowler captured both of those titles in the same year, Emil, John Janowitz, 2004, also at the National Bowling Stadium. Janowitz shot 858 in singles and took home the all events crown with 22-24. And the last time we had anybody take home 2 titles in the same year, 2009. Lynn's Limited took home the regular team and team all events titles. And the last individual, 2008, Jay Futrell. Regular all events and regular team. Just some useless Open Championship knowledge for you. I think it's time for your own breakout year here at the Open Championships. I think you're ready. Get a couple of years under your belt.
Think so, huh?
I think it's coming.
Good. Glad I had that vote of confidence from the boss. What's considered a breakout year? Let's define that.
Well, I think a personal best.
You could use one too. You about to.
I think it's time for you to shoot 2100. How about that?
Wow.
Yeah. You've been saving it for the last 2 years.
Wow. That's a lot of score. I'm all for it though. I guess that would mean you'd probably shoot 22.
Well, the only way I'm going to shoot 22 is if Matt McNeil shoots 26, because my goal is to get within 400 pins of him. However, this year, I get to go first. So while we watch Matt Weggen up on the right lane, first frame, game 3. His team, Trophy King Pro Shop, 927, 997. And their companion team, Victor's Cafe, 1059, 954. Weggen almost leaves it at 810. So 8 pin goes out. Just a 10 here. 162, 214 for two-time champ. As his family is actually right in front of us, checking out the hardware, the championship watches presented to Matt before today's 2:30 team event. Pretty good stuff to go along with bookend eagles. Of course, Weggen's name hanging high above the lanes here at the Open Championships. There's a look. Our banners here at the Open Championships give you the big time sporting event feel. Our 2011 champions, Weggen, doubles champs, Chad Reefer, Brandon Terbeck. Team champs, USBC Hall of Famer Jeff Riggles and his Turbo 2 and 1 grip teammates. And Team All Events, K&K, Bowling Services 5, led by USBC President Andrew Kane. And our classified champions represented in the rafters as well. So if having an orange eagle next to your name on the scoreboard wasn't motivation enough, now you get a great big banner with your name on it hanging above the lanes for the entire tournament, and then somehow you have to find a place for that in your house when it's all over. So a very cool feature here at the Open Championships. The meal, I believe your buddy Mike Flanagan checked in a little bit earlier. Now Matt Langhoff from the Brunswick booth, not too far away. So hopefully he's not drilling balls while he's watching the broadcast. Some of his Brunswick guys bowled well here the other day. Our new Team All Events leaders, S&B Pro Shop, led by Nick Wissinger and Brunswick's Bill Olikowski. 9954, the Team All Events number. And in the team event, 3401, Nicholas J's Pro Shop. So some big numbers on top of the leaderboards here. do appreciate everybody joining us. Don't know what it's looking like on your side of town. But, the weather here is frightful. I believe we've had some bad weather across the United States, so hopefully everybody's safe and sound inside. Watching some bowling on YouTube right now, Bowl TV. Matt Canizaro and Emil Williams Jr. live from the 2012 USBC Open Championships. We are behind lanes 25 and 26, just to the right of center aisle. Here at the Baton Rouge River Center, watching two-time champ, two-time defending champ, Matt Weggen, get a jump start on back-to-back all events titles so far today. This is game number 3. Weggen started with 162, 214 in his quest to become the first individual to win titles in consecutive years. One of 18 live stream broadcasts officially on the schedule for this year's Open Championships. Our next one coming up on April 28th. We'll see former collegiate standout April Ellis, Billy Murphy, and a few other Wichita area stars as well. So check that out. 8:30 p.m. here in Baton Rouge, 9:30 Eastern. But until then, our associate Lucas Wiseman will be on the road covering all kinds of good stuff. Intercollegiate singles, intercollegiate team, USBC Queens, convention, you name it. There's something for everybody. The schedule can be found on bowl.com, archive videos on youtube.com/BowlTV. Don't miss out.
Members of Lynn Cedarville. Double singles pretty soon. Taking a look at Mr. Weggen. Smoky King Pro Shop at Victor's Cafe.
This year's Open Championships kicked off on February 11th, and will be with you for 151 consecutive days. Wrapping things up on July 10th, so the second longest tournament in history. This is the 109th running of the Open Championships, the longest event in 2009, 154 days. And this year we'll see just about 12,000 teams make their way to Baton Rouge, where we were in 2005. Found our way back to the Pelican State and having a great time. Baton Rouge and Louisiana in general has so much to offer. I believe there will be some more day off excursions coming up this week, perhaps. Check out some of the sights and sounds of Baton Rouge, and of course, one of the most delicious cities we've been to, so lots of great places to eat and dine and hang out here, so don't miss out. Of course, a lot to see and do inside the venue here at the moment. Great bowling happening right in front of us. 4 eagle holders on our featured pair today. Plenty of room in the bleachers. And some great food and snacks all around the venue. So grab a snack, grab a seat, check out the bowling. We'll be here. Stop by the booth, say hello. Mr. Williams, big day off tomorrow. Much deserved. What's on the schedule?
Sleep.
Sleep.
As of right now, sleep. And, of course, my alarm will probably go off anyway. I'll forget to turn it off. I'll wake up a few times, but I'll go back to sleep.
Well, you definitely have to have the phone on right around 1 p.m. or so, 2 p.m., so you can find out if Matt Weggen became the first bowler in tournament history with back-to-back 800s in back-to-back years. I know you don't want to miss out on that news.
Absolutely. Phone's on. And then if you need to call me, of course, you can gladly do that. Hopefully, maybe throw in some practice. Sleeping in practice about two of the things I like to try to do on the off day, of course. The occasional sightseeing, as you mentioned, as well.
You need to get your game sharp. Big league night coming up on Wednesday. You raised the bar last week, so I'm expecting big things out of you this week as well.
I think you raised the bar last week.
Our old buddy Cliff Barnes checking in the chat room as well. Worked at the event in Reno in 2010. Now he's a big pro shop guy, expanding his business all around the country. So thanks for checking in today. We're in game number 3 now. 300 strong on the broadcast at the moment. To watch two-time defending champ Matt Weggen and his Trophy King Pro Shop team, 927, 997 so far. And their companion team, Victor's Cafe, includes 3 title holders as well, 1059 and 954, and quite a few strikes on the board here through 3 frames. Game 3, let's take a look. Just missed the lone left-hander. Joe Roseman threw a great shot, went back to his original ball that he started with, and absolutely obliterated that rack. So I guess the move into 10th frame last game, just an experiment. He did start this game with a spare and a pair of opens, so back on track there with a big strike.
See Scott Carpenter with a smile on his face. Scotty went 155, 166. The second game actually was a really good game. You know, the score doesn't suggest it, but it'll tell you. A couple opens. The middle and one late. Pocket 7-10. We've seen a couple of those as well. Afternoon.
Definitely have to get some breaks along the way to shoot a big number like 3401, which is currently leading the team event. So while we're settling into game 3, let's put a quick rundown of the leaderboards in all the events. Brought to you by Emil Williams Jr.
Matt, as we see the 10-pin conversion from Chuck Shoot, regular team. In first place, of course, Nicholas Jace Pro Shot 2. Still hanging on to the top spot in regular team with 34.01. from La Crosse, Wisconsin. And fifth, Notre Dame, this should be Dakota Storm 1. Indy Storm 1 from Mandan, North Dakota. 32-27. Just a week ago, they were second. Tells you what has happened since then. Another good shot on the left lane from Matt Weggen. And the tie for 10th, 31-54. HemeryBully.com and Bud Light Sheboygan, both with 31-54. So 10th, 31-54, 5th, 32-27, and 1st, 34-01. And regular doubles, first 14-29. That lead held by Hugh Miller, Mercer Island, Washington, and Adam Bardo of Girard, Ohio, in 5th place. Max Llewellyn and Garrett Mike Llewellyn from Gary, Nebraska. Aaron from Greeley, Colorado, 13-97. And again, another tie for 10th. And regular doubles at 13-68. Patrick Smart, Rick Minley from Santa Maria, California. USBC's own Gary Schmidt and his brother Steve Schmidt. Both at 13-68. So 13-68, 10th, 5th. In fact, actually a tie for 5th. Missed that one. Steven Zimmer and TJ Schmidt. TJ has made some history as well here at the Open Championships, along with Steven Zimmer. Zimmer, a current Morehead State University Eagle, on his way to the IGCs at 13-97. TJ entered the category. Bowlers with multiple 300s at the event. When he bowled here about a month ago now. 22nd person to do that. And regular singles. Wait till we get to 10th, you'll love this one. Henry Teets III, however. West Allis, Wisconsin, the lone 800. In fact, the lone 800 in this building. There were no 800s back in 2005. He has the first and only to this point, and it came in the singles event as he leads with 800 even. In 5th place, Robert Hansen at 765 at 300 on the end of that great series, and a 4-way tie for 10th place currently in regular singles at 742. Bill Orlikowski, Sean Mason, Michael Tucker, and Kevin Reinhardt. 742, a popular number thus far here at the Open Championships and regular all events. Ryan Whitney still holding down the top spot. Ryan from Louisville, Texas at 2170. Sean Lee, saw him have the front 10 on our live stream cameras here. He finished with 2082, bowling with HemeryBully.com and Lodge Lanes 2. And in 10th, Chad Nelson, just saw finish up yesterday. Finished with 2066. 2066, 10th, 2082, 5th, and 2170. And first in team all events, S&B Pro Shop 1 on top with 99.54. The 5 Horsemen from Racine, Wisconsin in 5th with 97.31. That team with Henry Teets III and Ron Vokes. And Junior Team USA Support 1 in 10th place with 95.05. Led by Eric Vermillion and Amanda Vermillion, Jeff Mersch. And Kentucky actually shot 300 to help that score out as well. So there's a rundown of some numbers, and it looked pretty good so far.
This year, 10 300s at the Baton Rouge River Center. You can find out all the news about those and much more on bowl.com. Check out the Open Championships page. A lot of folks curious about the scores and the news, photos, blogs. Bowlers Journal Championship standings. The Bowlers Journal being held across town at Metro Bowl. Storm Bowlers Journal Championships presented by USBC. An opportunity to win some additional prize money and get sharp on the tournament lanes. Check that out. Check out bowl.com for more information and hours. And those standings, I'll available on the tournament page, along with year-long bracket products. All kinds of other goodies. Don't want to ruin the surprise for you, but make sure to check that out. Gander, very deep, probably the deepest we've seen anybody during the team event. Almost sliding the left gutter, throwing the ball over the 5th arrow. And a great shot there, but as we talked about many times, as far as team play, playing together, and sometimes it's just a free-for-all. You get to a point where it's every man for himself, perhaps thinking about some other things. We talked to Nick Wissinger just the other day, moved into 2nd in all events, and he decided not to make a move that he thought might have been the right thing for him personally, but stuck with the team strategy, which helped the lanes open up in their team event. Had he moved sooner, he might have had a better look early, but it might have hurt things down the road. He might not have finished with 260, 270. So to each his own, each team comes in with a different strategy. And as we see here in Game 3, everybody kind of doing their thing, so getting where they're comfortable, and it worked in that case. Geringer's got 3 in a row. As does Josh Cantrell. So sometimes you just never know, I guess. Go out there and throw strikes, do the best you can.
Well, they're starting to fall, both teams. It was good to see Weggen get a strike on the right lane. Lane's kind of been his trouble lane. Second game. He struck 4 times out of 5 on the left lane, and a couple of spares. Split. Falls for Scott Carpenter. He has himself a 3-bagger. That's good news for Scott. Lanes have not been kind to him. Now May with the strike as well. Weggen up on the left lane for a 3-bagger. He'd be his first 3-bagger of the day. It's on the way. Yes, sir.
Weggen finding his groove here. A lot of strikes up on the board here in Game 3, which is kind of what you expect here, especially with 10 guys working together to break the lanes down, and it's usually game 3 where we see the monster game come out. Lanes are opened up. It's part of the strategy, of course. These guys, maybe not as meticulous as some other folks early in the process, but certainly reaping the benefits here towards the end. We are through 6 frames here in game 3. We'll take a peek up top. There it is. We're not going to see a new leader today. No 3400s. It's a solid performance, nonetheless. 3,000, always a good number at the Open Championships. Particularly good this year. The scores are a little bit lower. It's still a personal goal. I would like to see a 3,000 on my score sheet when it's all over. Trying to stack the team this year. Easily going to be the weakest link. But the team being anchored by Jeffrey Jensen, a member of the lifetime average list. So expect to make things out of him as always. And our fill-in for the year, might have heard of her, USBC Hall of Famer Kim Terrell-Kearney. Going to help us out, so I'm expecting 780, 790 out of her. And our buddy Chad McLean from Gainesville, Florida, having a great year as well. Turning around the pro shop business in that small town, making some waves. He had a solid year last year, ready for a breakout here in 2012 as well. And our very own Andy Wheeler from over in the Brunswick booth is going to jump on the team this year as well. So I'm okay with being the 5th best player on that team. Thank you very much. Emil's looking at me like, hey, you guys do have a pretty good team on paper. Well,
this guy keeps holding back the personnel. Man, it's pretty good, man. That is a solid team there.
If you can't do it on your own, surround yourself with people who are way better than you.
Yeah, I hear you.
And ride it to the end. Somebody has to be the low guy, and I'm fine riding the coattails. If that's what it means, I'll do my absolute best to contribute what I can.
I hear you.
But, I definitely am excited about that opportunity. I will tell you, it's only going to get better down the road as well. And I'm up here scribbling notes like crazy every time we see a left-hander on the telecast as well, just because I want to know. I saw Mark Moore struggle a little bit the other day. For S&B Pro Shop, finished with plus 15 on the year. And then Roseman today, kind of hot and cold. It's either a dead flush, great shot, or something unfortunate, like that 6, 7, 10. So I'm still kind of confused personally about the left side. I haven't really talked to many lefties. I saw Stephen Hardy, 2002 All Events champ, exceptionally well. But other than that, they're still up in the air. I need to do some homework.
Joe started off really well. Got to start off with a 6-bagger that first game. And things have been a bit of a struggle for him since then. Second game, 194. Now he's got 3 opens, all splits. Here in the third game, Scott Carpenter, 4-bagger for Scotty. Great to see. Scott has struggled a little bit here as well. Geringer with a strike. Here is Chuck shoot. Up on the right lane. Chuck has made a ball change as well. Back to the man of the hour, Mr. Weggen. Weggen up on the right lane. He struck his last time up here, but this has been the troublesome. Yes, sir. Nice shot from Matty.
We're just checking out Facebook also while we're here looking at the chat room, Facebook, Twitter, you name it. All the avenues where we spread the news from the Open Championships. And Robin Orlikowski just posted a picture from the previous live stream broadcast. And it looks as if Emil got caught doing something inappropriate. But
that's not what was happening.
That's clearly not what was happening. So we'll leave you in suspense, but if you want to check that out, that's on Facebook.
How about that?
You just never know what the camera's going to catch, I guess.
Don't know.
So just like as we learned the other day, it's best when you do your audio check. Also, make sure you're not live on the broadcast already, too. So it's been a very eventful
that goes without
couple
saying.
of days.
But happens to the best of them.
So just trying to keep things light and fun, apparently, around here. Do appreciate everybody joining us today. Still, 300 folks watching the action. Joe Roseman, good shot, but barely clips the head pin, but everybody goes. Just that ball not turning over down lane, a little fast through the break point, and he looks perplexed, but strike on the board nonetheless.
Harry.
And Emil, I want to note right now in the chat room, Mike Flanagan has challenged me to a bowling duel once again. We had an all events battle last year in 2011 at the National Bowling Stadium. Yeah, he wants to bet me a milkshake. I'll have to negotiate that. But definitely look forward to the challenge, Mr. Flanagan. We got some jokesters in the chat room today. We appreciate it. Keeping things funny for us. There's nothing funny, however, about Matt Weggen, two-time champ, trying to become the first bowler in history to win individual titles in back-to-back years. Last year he made history with back-to-back 800s. First player to ever do that. So why not something new? Those of you bowling fans out there want to watch some more live stream action, Lucas Wiseman headed to Lincoln, Nebraska this week. Check out the Intercollegiate Singles Championships and the Intercollegiate Team Championships. So a lot of excitement on YouTube this week. A little something for everybody. And then he'll head down to the USBC Queens in Euless, Texas. Matt Weggen denied 5 in a row here. 7 wiggles but doesn't go down. And I think this game much like his team event last year. I know this event didn't get started off quite as well. Shot 162 in the opener, but having some carry trouble. Perhaps it's deja vu. Last year he shot 636 with a lot of corner pins. And threw the ball well. Threw the ball just as well the next day. Shot 806 in doubles and 826 in singles when everything cooperated and fell into place for him. If you want to find out how Weggen finished off this year, check poll.com tomorrow afternoon. And the news will be there. Left-hander. Roseman back up looking for a double. That ball was going high at the arrow. Saw that one coming from a mile away. Lucky to leave just the 4-pin. And Kevin Adams is going to step up on the right lane and shoot at the 3-6. He's having a pretty solid day. 235, 229, and a big string of strikes here early in game 3. So he's going to be off and running. Challenge Matt Weggen for that all events title here in 2012.
Six in a row now for Carpenter. Here is Chuck Schutte. Chuck has given me some trouble this afternoon. I just called him Chuck. He's looking for a strike here in the ninth. And he gets it. Nice job, Mr. Schutte. Put up a nice number here to end things. See if Mr. Weggen can put up another quality shot. Wolf on the left lane, meanwhile, by dime. Bring it up. Ball shoulder high. Doesn't get the roll.
See Steve Geringer step up here on the left lane in just a minute. So he's playing the deepest that we've seen in the team event by far so far this year. And having a pretty decent game here in game 3. So one of the great features of the lane condition here at the Open Championships every year is that can be attacked from different angles. Players of different skill levels, and there you see it. Not so great on that shot, but he's been right around the pocket the whole game. It appears to be freezing up here in the booth today. We've got an Emilsicle up in the top row of the bleachers. And, let's take a look at the scoreboard while you guys digest that one.
I am quite cold.
Not sure if we'll have the opportunity to have Matt Weggen join us up here afterwards to talk things over. But, we'll do our best.
To carry and turkey. Triple for Cantrell. Clean game. Sets up a big game here as well. Cantrell finishes with 236. Trophy King Pro Shop, 180 for Jock Jacobson. Kevin Adam with the Austin split there in the 10th. He finishes with 223, but a solid day for Kevin Adam. Oh, you wish you could have that one back. .235, 229, and 223. For Kevin Adams, 687. .537 for Jock Jacobson. There's Roseman's final offering. He struggled here in the third game. 161 after a great start. .585 for Mr. Roseman. Great shot from Ryan May. Ryan with the double. 10. He's already 48 over after 2. Another strike will give him 237. Great shot.
Emil, there's an awful lot of chatter about this picture that's on my personal Facebook page. But that'll be quickly forgotten as we move on and put up some pictures of Matt Weggen and his title defense. Or Kevin Adam making a run. You just never know who's going to step up on the big stage.
Scott Carpenter ends things on a good note. 249. Gets him to 570. 155, 166, 249.
He's got to be feeling pretty good with his look going into doubles and singles tomorrow. So it's always good to finish on a big game because chances are that's where you're going to start tomorrow. So I bet he learned a lot today in those first 2 games, and especially here in Game 3. Gehringer up on the right lane. Good shot there on the left by Emil's buddy Chuck. Gehringer, though, already sliding in the left gutter here in the team event. Curious to see where he's going to end up tomorrow for doubles and singles. Not much room to move at this point. Appreciate everybody joining us today. Those of you still on board with us through the very end. Saw some pretty decent scores here. So definitely not disappointed. And Matt Weggen, I'm sure, will go back to the hotel and think things over and try to reclaim some of that magic that he found last year at the National Bowling Stadium. And we'll see if he can Weggen it again here in 2012. Victor's Cafe, well over 3,000 here in the team event. 30-62, their final number. And Matt Weggen going to step up on the left lane, going to close things out for Trophy King Pro Shop. See if he can finish strong. Great shot there. So that's one up in the 10th. Weggen so far today, 162, 214. I would imagine some nerves early on. Take a look at his second shot in the 10th frame. He's on the approach. Very unique delivery. This team's going to be right around 3,000 here. And a weak dime for the champ. He's going to stare down that 10 pin. Like he'll be in the 590s for the day, if my math is correct. So a little bit behind last year's pace, 636, 806, 826 on the way to the all events title, 22.6J. Let's take a look up at the scoreboard before we lose it. 29.75 for the champ and his Trophy King Pro Shop team. Victor's Cafe up top, 30.62, led by Kevin Adam. So a very talented and experienced group. Getting it done here, putting on a pretty good display at the Baton Rouge River Center today on lanes 25 and 26. Weggen's gonna pack things up. 530 squad already on the lanes. So they are ready to get their practice shots and get underway here. We'll just hang out for another couple of minutes, see if Matt's gonna be able to make it up here and chat with us. If not, catch up with him tomorrow, and you can find all that news out on bowl.com. See how he did in his singles and all events. Like Weggen's actually going to head to the locker room. Will not have an opportunity to chat with him, I do not believe. All right, and that is going to do it then. We do appreciate everybody joining us today. This is Matt Canizar, USBC Media Relations Manager here at the Open Championships for Emil Williams and all of USBC. Thanks for tuning in. Check out youtube.com/BullTV. The rest of the week, Lucas Wiseman headed to Lincoln, Nebraska for the ISCs and ITCs. And then the USBC Queens will be back with you from Baton Rouge on April 28th with April Ellis and some of Wichita's finest. That's going to do it for today. Thank you all for being with us. And until next time, Matt Canizaro. That's the news for now. See you on the lanes.